ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Friday, October 31st. Your drive begins now on this Halloween here at ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Chop at 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. Where do we begin? Of course, yesterday, Halloween came early for the Thundering Herd as Coastal Carolina did a number on Marshall, 44-27. 5 second-half turnovers doomed the Herd after Marshall held a 2017 halftime lead. Marshall's now 4-4, 2-2 in Sun Belt Conference play. So you have to reset now, try to finish strong. You need 6 for a bowl. You have 4 to go. I was going over this list today with Bill Cornwell. You have JMU, App State, you have Georgia Southern, you have Georgia State. Those are your final 4 opponents. Can Marshall go 2-2 in that stretch to be bowl eligible, get to the bare minimum of bowl eligibility? And, of course, then the conversation goes, are you excited for bowl eligibility? If you finish 6-6, is Marshall excited to go to a bowl at 6-6? And especially after last year's debacle, would you be excited for that? So those are questions that are a little bit off to the distance, but we're going to be getting those answers a little sooner than later. But the game itself, we got to talk about that, and we'll do that with you as well. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I've got a feeling a lot of you were not staying up late last night with us for the post game. We got a lot of interesting comments. A lot of people thought this was bizarre. A lot of people thought Marshall imploded, said that there was some bad coaching, thought that Carlos Del Rio Wilson was trying to do a little too much. Maybe the team wasn't well prepared, not ready to play. Those are some of the comments that we heard. Little perplexed that Marshall played well in the first half, but not the second. Some saying, hey, you got to shake this off. Don't let it beat you again. Some of the comments that we got into last night. And really, if you look at the stats and the numbers on this one, Marshall, total offensive plays, 81 yards. 81 plays, 432 yards. That would have been a real story, 81 yards. But no, 81 plays, 432 yards. And 279 of those on the ground. Passing was only 153. And if you look at the performance from Carlos Del Rio Wilson, he rushed for 21 times, 70 yards. Also passed for 153 yards. He was 21 of 36, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 1 time. I mean, there's some things that were positive. We can talk about the game. We can talk about what a fast start the Herd got off to. Boogie Trotter with that pick 6, and off we go. The Thundering Herd is going to take this one and blow out Coastal Carolina. And then Coastal started making some adjustments. And then we get into the third, and Marshall's leading in the third, 27-17. So you end the second, 20-17. You come out in the third, and you score. It was 6 plays, 75 yards. Then it's 27-17, and you're thinking, okay, this is a good start. And that's it. That's the last of the scoring. And then in the third, Coastal just went off. Got a 69-yard touchdown pass. That was a big play. You got a 17-yard touchdown pass. You had a 42-yard field goal. You had a 24-yarder. And then you had a 1-yard touchdown run. That was one of those short plays because, again, turnovers were damaging the Herd. Marshall, points off turnovers, not as bad as you think, but still, any points off turnovers is not good. But Marshall just did not look like itself in that second half. So what does Marshall do now? How do you recover from that? This wasn't one of those close games, we can fix a few things and we're good. This was complete breakdown in the third. Absolutely. And some of it's on the offense. Some of it's on the defense. And Marshall was really susceptible to some big plays. That was something that really struck me yesterday, is some of the big plays that the defense gave up. As I mentioned, you had a 69-yard touchdown pass. You had a 40-yard drive in the fourth quarter. I mentioned the 17-yarder, but don't forget there was a 59-yard touchdown pass as well. I mean, Lorcan Quinn was outstanding for Marshall, but their kicker was almost up to the test as well. And I just don't know what I can take away that's positive from this game. I don't want to sound negative, but there's nothing I can sit here and go, well, on the bright side. Because if you told me that Marshall ran the ball 45 times, got almost 300 yards, 279, and didn't win the game, I'd want to know why. Like, what's going on? What is it that held the Herd back? And of course, it was turnovers. Time of possession belonged to the Herd, but again, the Chanticleers had some quick strike ability as well, and it just got more and more frustrating as you watched it throughout the night. So your take, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You've got a few extra days to kind of stew from this loss until you get ready for the 75 game. So that'll be the refocus for the Thundering Herd. JMU looking really good. Did a number on Texas State. So now, a couple of thoughts. How good was Texas State really? And how good is JMU? A couple of thoughts there, as this will be an important game for Marshall. It's a big deal. We go all the way back to when it really became a big deal, Doc Holliday making this a thing. And I think Coach Huff did a fine job with it. We'll see now what Tony Gibson's able to do with this game. It really is one of those you circle on the calendar. It's the 75 game for a lot of people, an opportunity to come back, maybe more so than homecoming. You circle this one. And can this Herd team bounce back? And, of course, the other thing is, I know it's part of the program. It's in the fabric and DNA of the program. But, will there be distractions surrounding this game? Will the noise get in? Also, just the mere thought of, okay, we're playing a game in which we're not supposed to lose. Because it's that important. There's that pressure right there. The 75 game. I mean, some of you have been pretty strong when it comes to that game. If Marshall loses on that night, that it's designated 75 game, there's a lot of times I hear from you that, look, this team, what are they doing? This one should not ever be lost by a Marshall football team. And so there's that pressure there. Now, again, new team, new coaching staff. I don't know if they're going to feel it that first time out. I don't know if they're going to feel it. But there it is. Or worse, because now Marshall's 4-4 and lost in the way it did. Will there be a little apathy? Now, this game would have been huge. Marshall and JMU, it would have been, I think, a sellout. If Marshall was coming into this game with only one conference loss, taking on the undefeated JMU conference leader, you beat them, you go the rest of the way, and you win out, you're the East Division champ. So now Marshall, a lot of things are going to happen for Marshall, and one of those things will be JMU will have to lose to the Herd and then lose again, and then you're going to have to hope that some other strange things happen for a two conference losses. And you're going to have to hope that the way the numbers play out, that's going to be enough. But I'm not even thinking about that, because right now the math isn't supporting it in my head. And the thing that's important is Marshall's just got to beat JMU now to kind of turn this around before the rest of the season kind of ends disappointingly. So some thoughts there. Your take. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. One thing that will probably maybe either brighten your evening or add to it the disappointment of the week so far and heading into the weekend will be the Mountain State Derby. That is coming up tonight. Number 11 Marshall versus number 19 WVU in Morgantown. This is probably one of the premier matchups in college soccer, just because the intensity of the rivalry, the quality of both teams. So that one's going to be a key factor in postseason, I believe, for both Marshall and WVU, and the race for the regular season crown. So that's a big one tonight. And something else is going on. Oh, yeah, the World Series. Game 6 coming up tonight. Blue Jays playing host to the Dodgers. Toronto leading that 3-2. Could Toronto close it out tonight, or will there be a Game 7? We'll find out tonight. And if there is a Game 7, we'll have that for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Also, we've got high school football to get into. Huntington is playing host to Campbell Midland coming up tonight. We'll stream that game on our Facebook page, also on 92.7 and 98.5 The Planet. Spring Valley's at South Charleston. That's coming up tonight. We'll have it right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And then Ashland will play host to Lexington Catholic. That's coming up tonight on 97.9 The River. So let's get your text in. We'll do that next. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Now that you've had a moment to kind of process the loss, takeaways, what did you see that you possibly liked? And, of course, where are you at right now with this team? More coming up on today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Earn more with 4 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 4%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by one of the 8 Poca Valley Bank locations today. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield, subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Cold weather's on its way, and what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
Leaves and payments are falling here at University Ford in Huntington. New 2025 F-150s, just $469 a month, or take up to $10,000 off. New 2025 Bronco Sports, only $459 a month. New 25 Escapes, trips, just $2.99 a month, or take up to $9,000 off. Plus, grab up to 125% of KBB for your trade. New ownership, improved process, better deals. Better deals. The bow tie means a better buy. Shop us now at university4wv.com. See dealer for complete details on all offers.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. MDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at MDA.org today.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
What? Why? Just wait for the inheritance. We've definitely got a rich uncle somewhere. We're one call away from the winner's circle at the Derby, dinners with multiple forks, a vacation home in the country, using summer as a verb.
You don't actually think that, do you?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue on with this Friday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter writes in concerning the loss last night to Coastal Carolina, says, Paul, what confuses me is that we can't seem to game plan against an opposing team's second or third string quarterback. What's JMU's star quarterback going to do to our defense? I mean, they're hanging 50 to 60 points on recent opponents. At some point, Carlos Del Rio Wilson is going to run out of gas. I think part of the problem was the turnover situation. I can't lay it all on the defense's feet and say, hey, you're the guys that lost. Now, there were some explosive plays. There were some big plays that really changed the game. But I think also the turnovers definitely set that up. Honestly, the team was set up to fail. When you consistently turn the ball over, these are young men, and they're going to lose confidence. And how they react to adversity, how they deal with adversity is something that you just can't determine until it happens. And now, will this team react to the loss by coming out strong, or will this team allow this loss to maybe cause another loss? But I think that part of the problem was just that Coastal had a better game plan. Coastal created opportunities. Coastal was able to take advantage of some miscommunication, some broken plays. There were a lot of things on defense that Coastal was able to take advantage of. At the same time, Coastal was able to cause havoc, force turnovers, interceptions, fumbles. Those things are going to pile up real quick, and you can look at all the positive numbers from this game. But honestly, I mean, what good does that do us right now to look at those numbers and go, hey, but Roberts had 134 yards, but there's nothing here. There's nothing here for me to say, but. I mean, their quarterback, Collier, he was 8 of 20, had 1 interception, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, had that long strike. I told you about 69 yards. And on the ground, Collier had the most rushing attempts. And if it wasn't for him losing 4 yards, he would have been your leading rusher as well. Sort of a similar situation to Marshall. Carlos Del Rio Wilson, 70 yards. He's your second leading rusher. Roberts had 134. Similar situation. You would think you would be familiar with that kind of quarterback. You would see that type of quarterback in practice. Now, and I get it. You didn't have much to work with as far as game planning is concerned, but at the same time, you're going up against a guy who is dangerous on his feet and is also able to beat you in the air. So I don't know what the answer is right now for the Thundering Herd. But that wasn't it. And of course, I know a lot of Herd fans talk to me after the game, and it's like, we're on national TV, and here we go, doing this again on national TV. I mean, the good news, it was a Thursday night game. Everyone's watching NFL. I mean, locally, people were trick-or-treating. To be fair, a lot of people were trick-or-treating. I don't think the damage is that bad. People are going to look at the scoreboard anyway. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. There were a lot of people who didn't even know this game was going on. I'm at Giovanni's yesterday, and again, this is anecdotal, but guy looks at me, getting his pizza order. He's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, we're doing our show here. Getting ready for the Marshall game." "Oh, is Marshall playing tonight?" "Yeah, Marshall's playing Coastal Carolina." "Are they any good?" I said, "Well, they got a quarterback." This is all fair conversation. Still, there are people that just didn't know Marshall was playing on a Thursday night. I mean, I don't know what to say at that point. It's all over the place, right? I mean, am I not mentioning the schedule enough? Part of it on me? 304-396-TALK is our text line, 304-396-8255 to be on today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. You can also find us on X, at Paul Swann. I need a reason to get back on X, so you know what? This is the reason. But before we continue, let's go to the text line. We got that fired back up, ready to go. Texter says, "Paul, let me add that after last night's loss, none of our remaining games are guaranteed wins. Even Georgia State at 1-7 overall. App State has me worried majorly. Can only hope for the best." I agree with you on App State. I even said that to Bill Cornwell. I looked at the Hall of Famer and said, "Hey, JMU, I don't know. And App State, oh, you can beat App State." No, I'm not going down that road just yet. Tester says, "Paul, Marshall will get bowl eligible on 11/29 versus Southern Georgia, and will have another chance to play against Coastal Carolina in the Beach Bowl versus Liberty." Oh, I'm sorry, at Coastal Carolina. I'm sorry. Play again at Coastal Carolina in the Beach Bowl versus Liberty. Does that excite you, though? Texture says, "At this point, I'll be excited for a 6-6 bowl game. Coach keeps talking about fixing things, but that is a tall order for any coaching staff. Remember, Coach Gibson had to rebuild this team and staff from scratch when he took over. Then he had to plug holes following spring ball. that would have challenged even Coach Saban. Hopefully, the new portal rules will help. Agreed. I hope the new portal rules do help. I mean, you can get in the portal, sure, but you should be locked in for a while. Like, okay, you just can't go, I'm going to go spring here. Well, you know what? Huntington didn't have a really good taco bar. I'm out. Huntington didn't have a Popeyes. I'm out. Huntington doesn't have a freestanding Chick-fil-A. I got to drive all the way to Barbersville. I'm out. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
The game just got a lot tastier at your favorite sports bar, the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Our brand new menu is here, featuring bowls of fun. Try the Mediterranean Chicken Bowl with juicy grilled chicken and whipped feta, the Asian Salmon Bowl with fresh salmon and crispy Brussels sprouts, or the ultimate comfort food while you cheer on the herd, our loaded mac and cheese bowl, creamy and cheesy with your favorite toppings. Grab your friends and head to the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Great food, legendary sports, and epic fun.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% to help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, John Garden, 304-525-1116. And in Barbersville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100.
This fall, let the Car Ferry bring a little magic to your driveway at Mark Porter Auto Group. With locations in Pomeroy, Jackson, Ohio, and Ashland, Kentucky. Want to shop 24 hours a day? Cozy up with a cup of cider and browse our full inventory anytime at markporterautogroup.com. Fall into a safe, reliable vehicle and let the Car Ferry guide you to Mark Porter Auto Group in Pomeroy, Jackson, and Ashland. Or shop 24/7 at markporterautogroup.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
160,000 kids stay home from school every day for the same reason: bullying. This is Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association. Bullying impacts nearly 1/3 of all students every year, but parents, educators, and concerned adults can make a difference. It takes just one caring adult to intervene and help stop the bullying. Victims need an adult that will listen, will stand up for them, and most importantly, show them that they are not alone. Bullying and cyberbullying have far-reaching effects, from a decline in academic performance to physical illness, depression, or worse. Help us create a safe, bully-free learning environment for all students in West Virginia. One caring adult can make all the difference. Take the pledge to be that adult at nea.org/bullyfree.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talkline, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thank you, Dave. Don't forget, Monday, Dave's back at it. He was back at it this morning. Dave did the show yesterday, then went to, well, actually, he did the show the day before, then went to the beach, and then did part of the show yesterday, did the game, then got on the plane back home, did the show this morning, and then he's doing high school football tonight in Morgantown. Dave Wilson, everyone, doing a fantastic job. And, of course, he is on Monday morning, 10:06, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Of course, we will get your text in just a minute. We're here every evening and then some. Did you stay up late for the postgame last night? How many of you were with us last night? I'm just kind of curious. Because usually we get a midweek game like that and Marshall wins and it's like crickets, and we get a postgame when Marshall loses on a midweek or a Thursday night game, and people are still like, I'll rant tomorrow. I got to go to bed. Texture says, Paul, Marshall still has a whole lot to play for. The Jones should be rocking next Saturday. Hopefully you're right. I mean, we have basketball. Now basketball's on the road. We got football. We're going to have split broadcasts, by the way. Just kind of give you the heads up now. Start thinking about that. Football is going to be on 93.7 The Dog. Basketball right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So split duty for me. I'll be over at the Joan. We'll do our pregame, and then I'll be heading back here so we can do the basketball pregame show. So all of that's coming up on next Saturday right here, either on 93.7 The Dog or ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Texture says, Paul, when I'm right about Marshall playing at the Beach Bowl versus Liberty, you get 2 tickets, and I'll go with you. All right. We'll go. All right. But is it Liberty? Do we know? Is it going to be Liberty? Do we want to go? We can just go to the beach. All right, I'll get the tickets. I'll try to anyway. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our text line to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Who do you have tonight in the Mountain State Derby, by the way? You got WVU, you got Marshall. This one really matters. 2 of the best teams in Division I soccer and one of the best soccer leagues in the country, as number 19, West Virginia, playing host to number 11, Marshall. That should be a fun one. By the way, since we got a minute, I didn't get a chance to mention this earlier. He looked fine this morning. I had to check on him. Now, it's exhibition basketball, but Georgetown beat number 9 Kentucky 84-70. So I had to check on Bill Cornwell this morning, our news director. Yeah, if you know Bill by now, you know he's a big Marshall fan. He's also a big UK fan. He's a big UCLA fan. He's a big fan of your team. Kentucky gets beat by, again, exhibition. They've got a really hard one coming up next Tuesday at 7, playing host to Nicholls State. That's going to be a real tough one there for the Wildcats. So I'm interested to see how basketball goes for Kentucky. You don't be paying them players what you're paying them and losing an exhibition to Georgetown 84-70 there. Absolutely not. Also, Kentucky's at Auburn on Saturday. 7:30 kick, 5:30 airtime. That's going to be on 92.7 and 98.5, The Planet, and Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. Our text line continues to be open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our number to be a part of the show. Now, while most of us were watching the Marshall game last night or listening to it, Thursday night football, the Ravens took out the Dolphins. Not a big accomplishment here. 28-6. So if you were going to tune out NFL Thursday night action, last night was the night to do it. 28-6, not a big one there. Bengals trying to bounce back. We'll play host to the Bears on Sunday. We'll have that game for you. I don't even know if that is that one televised locally? Not that we care. We got the game on radio. Do we care? Is that one televised? I got to Google that now. 506 Sports. Yeah, if you're not familiar with that website, I think it's like 506 Sports. As far as the map, I don't think it's. I don't know if we're getting that one. It's okay. So week 9, November 2nd. No, we're not. We're not getting that one locally. They're going to show Chicago at Cincinnati and the immediate Cincinnati area. So that's basically Lexington, Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati. A little overlap in Indiana. And then Green Bay is getting that game. Chicago is getting that game. Obviously, Minnesota is getting that game. We instead, television-wise, are you ready for this one? And I'll be tuning out because I'm not watching it. Indianapolis at Pittsburgh is going to that's going to be the big game. That's your big CBS early game. They've got the big crew on that one. They got Ian Eagle and J.J. Watt there. San Francisco and the Giants got Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. Also, that's the other big boy crew there. Chicago at Cincinnati. Spiro Ditas is doing the game. Nothing against Spiro. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Transform your outdoors all year long with Roberts Lawn Care and Landscaping. Family owned and operated, serving the tri-state area with expert landscaping services. From vibrant spring gardens to cozy fall patios and everything in between. Roberts specializes in sustainable landscaping that thrives through every season, residential or commercial. Roberts creates personalized solutions to bring your vision to life. Call Roberts today at 304-633-5822 because your dream yard deserves 4 seasons of care.
Leaves and payments are falling here at University Ford in Huntington. New 2025 F-150s, just $469 a month, or take up to $10,000 off. New 2025 Bronco Sports, only $459 a month. New 25 Escapes, just $299 a month, or take up to $9,000 off. Plus, grab up to 125% of KBB for your trade. New ownership, improved process, better deals. The bow tie means a better buy. Shop us now at universityfordwv.com. See dealer for complete details on all offers.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menard. lights. Fight Electric smart home products make everyday living simply smarter. Add color to your home's exterior with LED outdoor string lights. They're perfect for holidays or get-togethers, and they can be scheduled to automatically turn on or off. View our entire selection of Fight Electric smart home products today on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Kindred Communications is committed to equal employment opportunities. We are actively seeking organizations that assist in connecting job seekers with employers. If your organization is interested in collaborating with us, please reach out. Visit kindredcom.net or call 304-523-8401 for more information. Kindred Communications Incorporated. Equal opportunity is our priority.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. AMDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at mda.org today.
Well, I finally improved my credit score.
What? The band is about to be discovered. Rock gods don't need to worry about credit scores. We're supposed to think about how many guitars we've smashed, make ridiculous on-tour requests, tragically break up and blame creative differences.
Yeah, I'm not banking my retirement on a band that's never left your garage.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Final segment for today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line is still open. We do that every day, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. It's a fun Friday night. Well, for the most part, we've got a lot of high school football coming up tonight, including Spring Valley at South Charleston. Again, that's our game. You can listen to it right here on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930. Texter says, Paul, one positive from last night's loss, Lorcan Quinn can absolutely knock it through the uprights from way downtown. Dude has NFL potential from his distance. I mean, what an amazing story. The guy getting on campus, okay, you know what? I'm going to try this football thing now. I wish I could just wake up one day, I think I'm going to kick footballs from way downtown through the uprights. Always draft a kicker. I don't care anymore. Always draft a kicker. Get the very best one you can. Always have the very best kicker you can on the roster. They change the game more than you think. If you're not thinking in those terms, then you're not doing a good job coaching. Yeah, Quinn is, that's a positive story. So I can honestly say, I'll take that away. He's been a good story all year long. And hopefully he gets that opportunity to knock one from way, 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 way downtown. I'd just do it. Fourth quarter, you know what? Game's in hand here. Let's just see what he can do. Let's just put it out there. See if we can get him knock one real long. Text line is still open. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. For today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, so we'll keep that text line going. We were talking earlier just about the Bengals and the television for the Sunday games, the early game. It's going to basically be the local markets for that game. But a bigger story that's probably impacting you. I don't know if you even know this yet. If you're a user of YouTube TV, you don't have your Disney channels anymore. That includes ABC and ESPN. That's the big one for a lot of people. ABC, college football on a Saturday, ESPN, just sports in general. And so if you have YouTube TV, you don't have at this moment, because the two parties, Google, Disney, in a dispute, you don't have the Disney Channel. If you've got kids, that's a big deal. You don't have FX, which sometimes it's not my primary channel, but I will watch a little FX now and then. Nat Geo, that's a big one right there. And if you're a fan of college football, you might be missing out on some games on Saturday. If you're a fan of the NBA, NFL, NHL, there could be some impact for you as well. But right now, if you have YouTube TV, you're out in the cold. Now, there are some alternatives if you want to spend the money. Now, if those channels are that important to you and you have to have regular TV as well, honestly, I'm going to tell you DirecTV. Right now, DirecTV and the Disney channels seem to have a good working relationship here, good deal, good partnership. And coming soon, if you're a DirecTV customer, now the DirecTV streaming customers already have this. They have access to at least some of the ESPN online. But as a DirecTV satellite customer, I'm due to get an upgrade. I'm going to be getting ESPN Unlimited. And I've been a DirecTV customer for a long time, so I had never fully made the switch. It just works for me as a service. And the streaming has been really attractive over the years. You think, hey, we're cutting the cord. It's so much cheaper to stream. Now it's not. Streaming has become as costly as, say, traditional cable and so satellite providers. And so I've got satellite, YouTube. If that's your primary, I know for a lot of people it is your primary because of the NFL package. And for me, for the longest time, I was a big NFL Sunday ticket guy. But after so many seasons of just like, I don't know if the Bengals have got it in them this year. So on a Sunday, can't watch the Bengals, I'll just listen to it. I'll just listen to it, and that'll be enough for me. Because if the Bengals were really good, they'd be showing them more and more. Right now, they're kind of in that middle ground where you don't know if they got a run in them or not. And especially with Joe Burrow being out. A lot of expectations there. So if you're stuck, here's the deal. You could get a $20 credit if the Disney content remains unavailable for an extended period of time. I mean, right now you're paying what? $83, $84, $85, something like that. And depending on your package with, say, DirecTV or, I don't know, you might even go the cable route, you could probably get something close to that. But some of you are probably tied in, locked in right now with the NFL Sunday ticket. And I always thought it was a mistake that the NFL went that route. I get the attractive nature of this being on a streaming platform with your package, but I think that's the wrong move for the NFL. How many of you have Prime? How many of you have Prime just for the NFL game? Probably, if you've got Prime, then it's not a thing. You're using Prime for something else. I don't know too many people that actually just have Prime Video for Prime Video. There's some interesting things on there. It's part of my, I'm bored, what am I going to look at? Doom scroll. But the fact that you have to have so many packages now to get everything you want when we used to have everything right in one central location, I mean, this is just another reason for this system being broken. But I get it. I have the Sunday ticket package for many years on DirecTV. I didn't give up DirecTV. It lost the package. I still didn't give up DirecTV. I'm like, okay, I can live without that. But I'm also doing other things. Like, for example, you want to get the league pass, you're not locked into anything for NBA. If you want to get center ice, you could get ESPN Select and you can get the Power Play package on streaming and you can watch most of the games. If you're like me, I've got the center ice package on DirecTV. I get the NHL Network, part of the sports pack, so it works for me. At the same time, though, now a lot of people have just woke up this morning and like, whoa, wait a minute, I don't have ESPN anymore. Became a shock to a lot of people. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon because, again, with the way that these packages go, YouTube is basically saying, or hey, we're standing up for you because they're raising the rates here. And you're going to have the flip side, like, hey, to give you the programming that you want, we have to ask for this amount of money. But it all comes down to, if these channels are important to you and you can walk away from YouTube TV, I'm telling you, there are some better options out there, or at least there's some options for you if you've got the NFL Sunday Ticket, and that was the whole point of this. We've got the Sunday Ticket. You want the Sunday Ticket? You got to get into our system. You got to become one of our customers. And I wasn't paying the price for not being a YouTube TV subscription holder. It was like, what, almost $400 for that thing now? See, I don't know anymore because I stopped doing it. But the $20 credit will be nice if you're doing that. So if you're going to miss out this weekend, if there are some games, like, say, for example, if you're a Marshall fan, you want to keep an eye on Marshall stuff, the ESPN Select package is fine. You're going to get everything. If Marshall is playing on one of the linear channels, you might miss out on that. But if you want to just get the basic stuff that's on Plus, you're going to be okay for there. There's also the ESPN, I think it's the Ultimate, the Unlimited package. That's going to cost you about $30 there, I believe, if you want to get that package. But again, I kind of suspect if you have YouTube TV, you're watching it for more than just ESPN. But if you listen to this show, you're probably watching it more for ESPN than anything else. And I think Hulu's fine. Honestly, I think it's a fine service, but honestly, if it's not broke, cable, satellite, it's not broke. I haven't missed out on really anything because I've not jumped on and cut the cord. And now they're getting smart because I can bundle other things as well. DirecTV has gotten a lot smarter, and bundling, you can get different packages, you can get add-ons, sort of similar to what YouTube does. Only thing you're missing out on is the Sunday Ticket. That's going to do it for this edition. I appreciate everyone being a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're going to be back tomorrow. Hey, I got one more text that came in before we hit the close here. Let me read this one. Texter was so kind to jump in and say, Paul, you're right. The NFL Robert Kraft messed up. Most fans have no desire or need for YouTube TV. Absolutely. I like having the satellite dish on my roof. I installed my own satellite dish back in the day. The 1990s. They've since upgraded those, and I've had actually professional installation, but that's another story. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you on Monday here, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.